All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the May 2025 Seattle Flow Arts Collective Board of Directors meeting. I'm Kat, she, her, and on the meeting today, we have our Executive Director, Arlene, and we have board members, Desert, Ariana, Blaze, and community members and also Kindle directors, Clarice and Rain. And I want to start with a little welcome from the chair. This is my first board meeting as board chair. I became chair this year. Um, I was one of the founding members of CFAC in 2020 with Blaze and Eileen, and I've been the secretary, I've been the vice chair, and now I'm excited to take on the role of chair. And one of my main goals as chair is to expand our organizational capacity. This means having enough people to do all the things that we want to do. And we can expand capacity in a few ways. One is hiring the marketing and admin person to support Arlene, which we'll hear more about a little bit later. Also, we're looking for new board members. Our board has 6 members, and we're looking to add a few more this year. And we'll also be launching a volunteer recruitment campaign soon to bring in new people to support our programs and our work. So thanks for being here today. Um, let's dive in. So approval of the agenda. Um, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Great. The agenda has been approved, and now we'll approve the minutes from the last board meeting. Can I have a motion to approve the February 8th board meeting minutes?
Moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
So quiet today, everybody.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Great.
Aye. There we go. Like find my order now. Okay.
All right. Now we'll go into departmental updates. So first is operations, and as I mentioned, we're recruiting new board members. So feel free to share the materials that are linked there. They've also been shared on our website and social media. And refer people to us if you have ideas of folks who might be good additions to the board. And I think it'll be me, Arlene, and Blaze who would kind of meet with the candidates, do like an interview, and then they would need to be approved by the full board. So that would, that's a high level version of what the process would be like. But really excited to expand the board and bring on new people. So please share. And then who wants to talk about storage space? Anyone who can give that update?
Sure. I know Arlene's got a lot to say later, so I don't. So I'll take that one. We shifted our storage unit from the CubeSmart storage. It was only 85 a month, but it didn't allow access after like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m., which really is a major operational challenge for the fire jam. It resulted in the fire producer and volunteers having to take the equipment home with them and then bring it back and coordinate getting together later to put it all in the storage unit. So with Phoenix's help, we were able to get back to the 24-hour shipping yard in Ballard for $100 less than we were paying when we had the account, which is interesting. Her burning group was abandoning that shipping container, and instead they handed it to us, so it's $250 a month, which, you know, is significantly, it's like $3,000 more annually than what we budgeted for our storage. So there's some adjusting made. We'll look at the living budget and financial stuff later, but we now have that shipping container. It's like 2 away from our last shipping container. It's actually a nicer shipping container, and all the stuff has been moved, and we are completely out of CubeSmart now. Any questions about any of that? Thoughts or comments?
My only additional comment is be strong, or be aware that if you are a smaller human, it might be hard for you to open it without a keyboard.
Yeah, it's hard. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I'll get a really big lever or something for everyone.
You mean like the actual crate itself?
Yeah, the doors on the shipping container, most shipping containers have 2 or more like bars that you pull and it turns those. This shipping container, the one door doesn't have those. It has just like a handle with a padlock on it, which is in some ways better, except that trying to pull that door open without the leverage of those bars, given that it has a pretty good weather strip seal on the top, not the bottom. Bottom may or may not leak a little bit. It's really hard to get it to like unseal initially. We found out. That's what I got.
Let's spell that one work.
We'll figure it out. I also plan to go in and build shelves for it. So when I do that, I'll probably have, you know, a solution for the door. That's what I got.
Thanks to everyone that helped make that happen. Desert, Arlene, Ariana, maybe others. Thank you so much. All right, I think we can move on to hiring updates. So this is for the marketing and admin position that's going to be a contractor for 5 hours a week to help Arlene. Do you want to share, Arlene?
Yeah. We hired someone.
Ooh, I don't know.
Great. Okay, so their name is Delilah Gittens. They are a Seattle-based roller skater, and they have their own business called Skate Alchemy, where they do classes and things like that. I think that they're going to be a great match. I'm really excited. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like what else to say about them. But yeah, they have a strong marketing background. Both of their Instagrams for their personal and their business were really strong. They have a background in public health, and have a lot of other like good experience. So I think they're going to be a really good fit. They are currently nursing an injury, and so they're going to wait a little bit to start. Their start date will probably be something around like the 15th or 16th of this month. And yeah, we'll see how it's like to get that all worked up. There's going to be quite a lot of effort just to like get all of the marketing materials in places that they can actually access it and find everything, because a lot of it is in all kinds of weird places that make sense to me, but are not necessarily accessible to other people. And I'm pumped. And I don't know if there's anything else to say. It was a hard decision. We had a lot of really strong applicants, and yeah, it was tough to choose, which was a great problem to have. And yeah, as our first hiring experience, I think it went pretty all right.
Yeah, it's so exciting to
Yeah.
add someone else to the team. And yeah, they seem like they are going to bring a lot of awesome skills to the role. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Thanks for going through it all with me, Kat.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I think next we can turn it over to Desert for the treasurer's report.
Okay. Here, I'm going to take over the screen for just a second, and we'll walk through a few of these documents that are relevant. It is this one. Okay, everyone should be able to see my screen, yeah? Lovely. Okay, so first we'll just take a real quick gander at the living budget we approved in our initial meeting of the year. I'm gonna just jump to 2 quick points. We've all seen this and approved this. The major changes since our last board meeting are around these here, these storage fees. We had budgeted 382 for that. That number, when we switch next to the living budget, which is updated, let me know if this is too small, I can make it bigger. You'll see this number increase 1,000%. And then, of course, we have the amount we budgeted for the new marketing person that Kat was just talking about. No other changes of significance from this forecast of our budget to where we are now. If everyone's good with this, I'll switch over to the living document, which will also have our Q1 numbers in it. Okay. So here's our living budget, and this column H and I here show where we stand as of Q1. So of course our revenue doesn't come in like 25% in the first quarter, 25 in the second, right? We have higher revenues in the second and third quarter, and then a major contribution cycle in quarter 4 for giving. So we are roughly on track. We're just about where we normally are. If we wanted to look back, I could show like last year's and this year's comparatively. Nothing really of significance to point out. Here's the storage fee increase that I mentioned earlier. And all of this information is available to all the board members. Kind of more interesting than this is probably our statement of financial position, which is where we are when I pulled the report. How much money is available to us? We can move to that next. Does anybody have any questions about this? Anything you want to dive into?
I had one question. If you can scroll down to the bottom, the total expenses of 94,000 is like where does that come from? Because that's like the changes you talked about don't.
They don't.
Seem like
this right here doesn't.
Impacted that.
Yeah. So we can see that this facility equipment budget isn't included in that calculation. Hang on. My local copy has this done, but this copy does not apparently. Okay, I'll fix this up and get this out. Let me take a look here. I missed that. Let me take a look at this one because I think this is the one that had the appropriate changes. I don't want to really take everyone's time to fix this, but I can fix this during if we shift to another topic. I can fix this and then we can loop back to it. It'll just take me minutes, but yeah, I don't want to make the sausage in front of everybody.
Yeah, that's fine. I think maybe also in the future it might be helpful to have like the approved budget that's one column because like the approved expenses are like 74 or something, and then another column that's like the forecast of where we think we're going to land on expenses and revenue. Because it seems like column F is kind of both of those things right now, but does that make sense to try to have like what was actually approved and then what we're thinking is going to happen?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. This is what is approved.
The 94 is not what was
the 94 that you're focused on is an inaccurate number.
Okay.
It's a matter of a formula calculation, but these are the amounts we approved for each one.
Got it. Okay,
Yeah.
so we can come back to this after
Yep.
we can go with it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Cool. So just a couple of items. We have the increase in storage fees. Our fundraising is a little behind compared to 2023 and 2024 for the same quarter by about $2,000, give or take. So, but we also have some grants that we haven't had before that just haven't hit the banks yet. So the forecast is fine. We should take those grants and have a session where we break down how we expect to spend them. Right now is kind of, we have this chunk of grant coming in, but we don't have specific applications for them aside from our general budget. So maybe we look at that and figure out we can use some of that money for investment vehicle or target specific activities for some of that.
And just to note, the amount of money that we've been awarded so far in grant funding is $50,000. So like we're like low in some ways, but there's $50,000 invisible, and we're not done with grant season. So
yeah, so from our budget, that's about $26,000 shortfall right now.
For the year.
Yeah, for the year. Yeah. Okay, moving on down, the statement of financial position. Kat, this is what you asked to be included on our last board meeting, was this report. I've included this. This includes all money in all accounts, including the Kindle operational account, which is in this report because decoupling it from this report is not a function of QuickBooks. And while I'm willing to go through and make all these adjustments, I simply didn't have time this time. So if you read through this, hey Richard, if you read through all of this and you get to the bottom, just subtract the Kindle account information to get the CFAC final number. And this report was pulled on the 23rd. So it's about 7 days behind. Any question on this report? I'm going fast because I assume board members have reviewed these when they were sent out a week ago. If you have any questions. All good? Okay. Jumping back over, going to the next section then. Taxes. Tax season is upon us, y'all. Today is our bookkeeper is back. They have our tax preparer is back. Arlene and I had kind of a little, oh my goodness, we're behind last month. But no, nonprofit tax season is due May 15th. So our tax preparer does all of the personal accounts and then takes a 2-week break and then comes back and does all the nonprofit. They have direct access to QBO now. They're in touch with McBooks. All of our accounting for both CFAC and Kindle is already in QBO, and it should be as simple as hit button, get tax report. I'm sure there'll be a round of questions, but unlike last year, where there were numerous of us putting hours and hours into making sure that this was right, this is where the return on our investment for the accountant or for the bookkeeper is gonna pay off or not, really. And I just can't wait to see how the next 2 weeks goes. Like, I'm just waiting. I hope they don't reach out to me but one time. So excited. This is an exciting time for Desert. Okay. We also have a new, please.
I have a form from GiveButter about our disbursements, and that needs to go into our tax. So where should I send that to now?
I send it to me. I'll take
Okay.
a look at it. But
Oh,
all the
give it to
GiveButter
me.
information and disbursements are already tracked.
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
is it
Just
like
got
a
the official tax
1099?
form, and I was like, I don't want this
Is it like a 1099
MISC or NEC or
miss?
whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the one for network, PayPal and stuff.
Yeah, send that over to me. I think I already have it, but forward it and I'll take a look.
Okay.
Thanks. And did that come to your personal CFAC email?
That came through the postal service, but I don't know or remember to which address. So
Okay.
it was probably not my current address.
All right. No,
It's probably 1816. Anyway, I'll get that to you. That's all I got.
All right. Got that. Okay, we have a new bookkeeper at McBooks. Her name's Alicia. We had a sync meeting this week. It went really well. She has a lot of experience working with nonprofits, and I kind of went over an overview of all of our programs, specifically focusing on FlowFest Seattle and Kindle, because those are our big high transaction events where there's a lot of things going on. Looking forward to that. Like, she seems great. There was an outstanding question about what taxes are McBooks paying. So we did a review of those scope of work and explicitly identified all of those. There is one thing with the Office of Washington Secretary of State that I need to follow up on. I'll be looking at that. But yeah, everything there looks good. There's no hair on fire anywhere as far as I know. And this brings to the last section, planning for growth. Most of this is all the same stuff that I put forth, I think, last year. We just haven't had time to research investment vehicles for nonprofits like CDs or other types of investment accounts. We still have the one CD with US Bank that matures in, I think it's June. And once that matures, we're going to close that out and get it out of that account until we can establish a better vehicle for nonprofit investments. Okay. This was kind of quick because these notes went out earlier. If anybody has any questions, you can ping me on the side. But unless there's anything pending, that's my spiel.
Thanks, Desert. Yeah, that was a really good report, and it's good to see we have healthy financial reserves. And yeah, I think it's a good idea to figure out the best ways to invest some of our savings. And even though, yeah, our revenue isn't super high yet this year, I think, we know we have grants and other things coming. So I think we're in a good position. Thanks for that report. Development. Oh, Blaze.
I had just one more thing. I don't remember where we are on the concept of getting like a brokerage account, so CFAC can receive stock donations, but I would like to add that to the list. As you know, alongside CDs and other money market type things. Because from what I've heard, it's pretty straightforward. You just go in there and give them your IDs and whatever, and you know, you have a brokerage account that can hold stock that people can give to you. And I'd much prefer to give that way personally. So I'm willing to help figure out what it takes. But in terms of investment vehicles, I thought I should mention that.
Thanks.
I'll capture that and you and I can get together on it, please.
All right. Development. We heard a little bit about grants coming in, but Arlene, do you want to talk some more about development and fundraising?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's thanks for okay. Yes. So as I think most of the folks in this room are aware, we've received two large grants, our two largest for this year already. So we got one from For Culture, which was awarded, I think, at the very end of 2024. That's good for 3 years. I have signed our contract. We have like done everything that we need to do on our end for that to process through. They are going to adjust things a little bit so that sorry, I read the message in the chat and then my brain went to that. So normally with For Culture, they do reimbursement grants, but there were enough people in the granting pool who were citing like some pretty severe budget shortfalls, and so they've actually opted to just pay out the full amount to all of the grantees just for 2025. So 26 and 27 will be their normal process of a reimbursement grant. That makes more sense. Thanks, Desert. um, and so yeah, so they have 700 grants that they are processing. So I emailed with Brett, who is our contact from For Culture this week, and he was just like, "There's 700. We'll see you when we see you," was basically the the feedback, which is great. And For Culture is also how we got access to the free public access grant, which was for 26,000 for this year. And I don't think I have received any more information from that one yet. I also asked him about that because since that one's through For Culture, and he was just like, "Yeah, you haven't received anything, you're good." So we're like where we need to be on the grants that we have been awarded that are like open or developing, which is great. Huge thank you to For Culture. Like, wow, that's rad. They're like really, really keeping our org afloat. And with that grant, we are funded for 3 years, which is really cool. So, or have a lot of funding anyway. We're still waiting to hear back from ArtsWA. I applied to that grant maybe in February and expected to hear back by now, and got an update that they were gonna give us information a week later, and then a week later, and now it's crickets. So I presume that whatever issues are happening with the NEA and federal funding are just like really messing up their C's. And so they'll get back to us when they get back to us. It's a much smaller grant. It'll probably be more in the range of like $2,000 or $3,000 a year. And I believe it's a 2-year grant. So we'll see when we see. We did not receive the Fund the Flow Arts grant, but I'm sure what they funded was awesome, and it sounds like we were quite competitive. And we did receive a compliment from them during my interview with them about our nonprofit and how proud they were and how developed we are, and that was cool to hear. So they still like us, which is love, which is great. The application for Arts Fund, which is previously, Arts Fund is from the Paul Allen Foundation. And those have been 2 of our biggest grants in previous years. So we got 12,500 from them 1 year, and then 25,000 from them last year. And that grant is open again. So I'll be applying to that. It closes on June 6th. And I will take care of that. That one is not necessarily like an annual grant. It's sort of, if he decides to give a bunch of money to this, then they do it. And if he doesn't, then they don't. So we'll see if like how consistent it ends up being long term. But they have done it for the last 3 years, and we have been pretty successful in that space. So I think that will go well again. And then there were last year sort of a smattering of some grants from Bellevue, which we have not really tapped at all. I don't think we've applied to any grants from the city of Bellevue, but with Eastside Spin Jam happening over there, I think we should. So I'm going to be doing some research into that. I think last year I got to all of those grants too late to actually apply to them, or learned about them too late. So that's some of where that's going. There's some other little grant projects and stuff that that we just like haven't fully tapped into yet, just because of like limited capacity. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. One of my hopes with hiring Dalila is that I will have more time for grant writing once they're all like trained up and actually like going and doing stuff. So that's my plan. For grants, does anyone have any questions about grants? Okay. And just, okay, well, I'll say this other thing when we get there later. Yeah, there aren't any like explicit fundraising plans right now outside of our normal end of year plan. besides for a special project, which I will talk about later. So I think that's the development and fundraising update.
Thank you. Yeah, and Arlene, you've just been rocking it with the grant writing, so thank you for all that work.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into programs. Flow Shop.
Okay, sorry, this is where I talk at you guys all for like 12 hours. Okay, so Flow Shop. We move outside at the end of this month, so it'll be the last Tuesday in May, Tuesday after Memorial Day. We'll be going back to Volunteer Park. I'm obsessed still with Washington Hall. I feel like we've built a good relationship with the folks who work there, especially with Mika, who is the oh, I forget her title, but she's like in charge of overseeing the guests at Washington Hall and making sure that they're set up. So I have already checked with them and they said yes, but I haven't gotten like an official contract or anything. So I'm going to be poking them about that for our next year's indoor season. But our current plan is to go back there and we'll stay as long as they'll have us. It's a great location in a lot of ways. We've been doing the masks required flow shops every second and fourth Tuesday of the month, and it's been going really well. We haven't had any like pushback or annoyance from folks, and there have been a lot of people who are quite enthusiastic that we're offering that. There aren't really a lot of mask required events anymore, so there's a community of people who's pretty eager to go to the relatively short list of events that do require them. So that has worked out really well. We do need to have some conversation and plan making for what happens when we switch outdoors. I think that there are people in that community who would still want masks to be required outside. And I'm trying to kind of game out what would be the best way to. It's a harder sell to get people to wear a mask at an outdoor event at this point. And so I'm trying to find ways that we can support that community and continue to provide space for them. And also, yeah, just like making everyone feel like they can be at the place and have fun and connect with people. So I'm going to talk to folks about that. If anyone has thoughts on that, I would definitely be happy to hear them. Or if anyone wants to like talk through that, you can let me know. Yeah, and we're around like 18 to 25 people a week, which is is kind of big for this time of year because our space is bigger. And so we've had more people in general since being in Washington Hall. And thanks to 206 Zulu, because they sponsor us. And I did the math recently, and I forget the number, but it's like quite a lot of money that they are actually like giving to us by sponsoring that event and removing $35 of their hourly rate for us. That's like $90 a week or more, which is a pretty significant savings. So big thanks. Flow Shop. Should I just run through the rest of the programs? Okay. Okay, so East Side Spin Jam. They are also moving outside at the end of this month. So their first outdoor jam will actually be at Folklife on Saturday, the 24th. And so they're going to be with Livy in front of her booth and finding that space there. That'll be great. And after that, they are going to be moving to Saturdays for the summertime. So it'll still be 1 to 3. It'll be at Crossroads Park, which is, I think, basically attached to the community center, Crossroads Community Center, where they've been having the event. So it'll be basically the same place and same time, different day. Yeah, and we're working on finalizing an upcoming workshop for them sometime this month. So stay tuned. Any questions about East Side Spin Jam? I Community Fire Jam is tonight. Brr, 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 brr. It's our first one. We should have an air horn button. Okay. Um, thanks, Blaze. You're our air horn button.
Blaze that fire.
Yeah. So that we're looking forward to that. First one of the year. That'll be great. Kind of kick things off and shake the rust off, burn it off, whatever. I think the main update from that, it's a fire jam. It's doing the stuff it normally does for the most part. We'll talk about that in my next bullet here, but I think the main piece of info that's different is that Z is planning to step down as producer, kind of taking like a slow walk out so that they can train a replacement, and or two, because Gray and Indigo are going to be the folks that are training to pick up that role, which I think is great. I'm excited to see them more involved. Desert and Ariana, are there other things about the fire jam that you think we should say?
We had, I don't know the exact number, over 110 registrations this time, which is wild. We generally average, I don't know how many registrations we average for the first one, but we average about like somewhere between 30 to 50 people coming out usually. So I am interested to see how many people actually come out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, and then I believe, Desert, correct me if I'm wrong, we have already applied for the parks permits for our next ones, or have we not? Yeah, I thought we did them as a batch.
I sent them for our September
Yeah,
and May as a batch, and they are focused exclusively on the May. So I'll follow up with them.
okay. And then Arlene, you've applied for Flowfest one.
Yeah, that's all done.
So the ones we are hosting have been applied for.
Bless. I love that. Anything else about fire?
It's hot.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I have like 14 gallons of camp fuel in my truck right now. I'm looking forward to dropping it off.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, y'all. Our next program. Oh, Desert.
When you are ready to give your voice a break, I want to refocus back on the now fixed document
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll let you know.
whenever you're ready.
Thanks. Okay. Creative convergence. So this is our, I feel like each year we do something new or different, which I think is cool. And even though some years we try to not do things new or different, and then we do anyway, I do think it's great when we branch out and make new connections and engage in new events and in new ways with our community. So this year we're teaming up with Levity Arts and Urbana, and Not Man Apart is sort of like a shadow background support, but it's really the three of us are going to be working together to do the events that Levity has been putting on at Gasworks, but now with permits and all of the insurance and everything. So Katie is the leader of Levity, and we've been working with her and James from Urbana, to get all of the permitting figured out. There's still some figuring with insurance because there's so much more going on. There's fire dancing, aerial arts, yoga, and some like other things. They want a $5 million general liability policy for the event. And Urbana has a $4 million policy. So we're trying to figure out how to sort of work around that, which I presume we will come up with a solution. Those events are going to be July 17th and August 15th. And so it'll be like yoga and workshops, and then aerial arts and flow arts, people doing like a little show or just like playing on their own. And then there will be sort of like a more aerial showcase. And then the fire circle will open. We're still working out the details, but the fire circle will be open to the community. It'll be a little different than what we normally do. It won't be open for like the whole event, so it'll be like a shorter time frame and stuff like that. And we might have some like planned acts at the beginning to kind of open the circle. But that's where that's going. And there is going to be a fundraiser that is happening for that event. So the current plan is that CFAC would be basically like paying for our own stuff because we have funding for it. Levity has less funding to do this event. And the cost from our perspective is pretty much the same as if we did the event, like as if we did a regular community fire jam. I think it's actually a little less because the permits, the like park permits are different. But we are going to be running a campaign that'll go through our Give Butter account. Because we're a nonprofit, which means people can make tax deductible donations, and it also means that that revenue won't be taxed if we use it for this event. So I'll be working with Desert and the crew to figure out ways to like disperse those funds. So it might be a situation where we end up paying the DJ from this fund, you know, for on behalf of the event, or that we're like processing reimbursements from the event. But this is going to be separate from our like budget. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that okay? I'm looking at Desert's face.
I'm running through. Yes. It'll still be part of our accounting,
Right.
right? But it won't, like, that money. We still need to figure out like a couple of things, like what happens if there's money left that didn't get spent after we've paid everything, right? That money, we need to agree with all parties involved what happens to that. And I was just typing this in the chat, because it's going through our accounts, there will be an additional cost to us at our bookkeeper level.
Yeah.
Because there'll be more for them to manage. It is gonna take some more time of my time, but that's all here. So like, I think we have a plan for it, and we'll make it work.
Yeah, there's still some like specific details about the money bits, but I agree that I think we'll find solutions, and yeah, just need to kind of nail that stuff down. We've been, focused on other bits of it, but we're gonna do that, and we're gonna go out we're meeting this month to go out to Gasworks and make like the map and the plan for everything. So that's kind of where those are at. But I think it's going to be awesome. You know, Urbana brings out like 500 to 1,000 people every Thursday for their yoga in the park. These Levity events have been around 1,000 people when they've had them previous years. So I think this is going to this will be literally potentially, like assuming it's the same kind of crowd and turnout as previous years, this will be our biggest event of the year, like including Kindle. This will, like, it would be potentially bigger than all 3 of our festivals combined as far as like number of people, which is pretty dope. And I think it tends to be like a younger crowd and kind of a different crowd from who we're currently engaging in. So I think this could like really, really be a big boost for our programs. I'm super stoked. And yeah, I'm like really excited. And I think it's going to be a really cool event. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on, and yeah, I am excited. those are the notes I wrote about it. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Okie dokie. I have two more, and then Desert's going to talk about money. FlowFest. FlowFest Seattle is an event. It's happening. It's going. It's doing the thing that it's normally doing at this time of year. We need to make some adjustments to the schedule. There were a couple people who applied and were accepted, but then weren't needed to decline the acceptance for various reasons. But that's fine. There's backups, and we have a plan. We have our social media plan underway. My grid has been ruined. It's only been like a week and a half and the grid is over, but I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep at it for the rest of the time. We have so much stuff going on right now, and so the grid is impossible. One year I will figure out a way to share all of the instructors that doesn't make me insane, but it's not this year. There's two notes that are new and exciting. One is that I don't know if anyone knows that, or if everyone knows that we have officially landed in Woodland Park for the Saturday portion of this event. So Friday will still be at Volunteer Park like normal for the Fire Jam, and then we'll move to Woodland Park on Saturday, the 14th. I have not made a decision, and I'm curious if anyone in this room has an opinion about where the play date should be, if we should stick with Woodland Park since that's where we will be on Saturday, or if we should go back to Volunteer since we'll be there on Friday. I don't pull. Okay, yeah, so
it gives like a different availability, right, for people to attend between the north and the south a little bit, is my only thought. My only argument for switching it would be if we have the jam at Volunteer on Friday and then the event on Saturday for the workshops, and then the play date back at Volunteer. It's like a lot of moving around, yeah, but also would more people come out to Volunteer for a play day than Woodland Park? It seems likely given the proximity to Capitol Hill.
Yeah, I was going to ask what we think is most accessible to the majority of our folks.
that's a good point. It's a good question. Yeah. Volunteer is a little further south. Woodland is pretty central, but yeah. So it sounds like maybe some preference for Volunteer on Sunday. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Feedback. And then the only other note I have is that one unfortunate thing about Woodland Park is that it is much more expensive than Volunteer. So our venue cost for this event doubled this year. So part of that is that the hourly rate for the parks went up. But mostly it's because of there's like shelters and picnic tables in the location that we're going to be at. And so we rented all like 48 picnic tables, which, yeah, it's great. Yes, Desert.
What does that look like for the event budget? Does it keep it positive, neutral, loss?
Negative. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is not great.
So Those numbers are not currently reflected in this, y'all. Those expenses were not incurred in Q1. They'll be incurred in Q2.
Yeah. I still feel good about our overall budget for the year. I'm like not worried. But yeah, but it is expensive. Yeah, I don't know. So I had been mentioning to Ariana and Cassandra that I was like, I feel like I maybe want to go somewhere besides Volunteer Park. And now I feel less confident. You know, Ariana and I went and spent a whole day just like driving around to all of the different parks that we thought would work well for this event. Um, and I don't know that there were any that like really stood out as being especially better. And with Woodland Park, I do really like the location. It's cool. There's like a ton of parking, and it's gonna be like in the forest. It's like trees everywhere, but also with these like big open spaces. I think it's gonna be really cool. Um, but I don't know that it's worth paying $1,600 to rent it for a day. Um, and that's again, that's like the same. So we're in picnic area 1, and shelter 6 has fewer picnic tables, but the shelter costs more money. So like the difference was only like $50 between those two areas for like the whole day. Anyway, I kind of wonder if maybe Volunteer Park is just our home for this. Um, and I think I have feelings about that because like Flow Shop is there, and also I am in Volunteer Park like basically every single day of my life because I live here and I walk there every morning. So I think it feels like less of a special place to me to like have like a special thing, but I think maybe I need to just get over that. Um, Sometimes I get weird bugs in my ear, and that might be one. Um, so I think though that I might just apply for Volunteer Park once we select the date, like as soon as it's possible to apply. I think it's like a year in advance or 6 months in advance or something. I need to double check and just apply for it immediately because this was stressful, and I don't want to pay $1,600 for the venue for this event. It's a park. Those are my that's Flow Fest. I hope you come.
I'm wondering if we want to take a 5-minute break since we're at about an hour, and then we'll come back and do the rest of our agenda. So let's come back at 11:04.
Okay. Oh my God, that's stupid. Okay, I'm gonna pause the recording here. I swear. I'm gonna pause the recording.
All right, I think we should talk about Kindle next.
Okay, I do want to make sure we don't drop Cascade Juggle Festival too, though.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, cool. Kindle. It's happening. I think from like a CFAC perspective, the things that like are really applicable to us and this group. Our MOU is complete. We wrote it, we edited the thing, and it is signed and processed and everything. So that's looking good for this year. There were no really like major changes. We made some adjustments that reflected like the reality of how things were actually working in a few places, and cleaned some stuff up, but it was mostly pretty minor changes. And also I think that it might be set up that we like won't have to spend so much time mucking with it. This year was less work than the previous 2 years. So we are getting there.
Woohoo!
Desert, yeah, woohoo is freaking right. It's like, yeah. Desert, what do you have your hand?
I just wanted to know where it was, but I have found it and exactly where I was hoping it was. Thank you.
Wow.
You rock. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, and yeah, and they're like, I know they're in the process. Tickets will go on sale June 1st. They just made a post. Share it, send it some love. And they will be, I think instructor decisions are more or less done, but haven't yet been sent out. I've heard there's like actually like turns out like multiple Kindle people here. Um, Almost all of us are Kindle people actually. Uh, um, yeah, I think those are like the main things from my perspective. Rain, is there anything you want to add?
Just if you are a Kindle organizer, come to the in-person retreat next weekend or 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks, 17th.
Yeah,
Have an RSVP? Let me know.
I can't remember if I've RSVP'd, but I will be there.
Good to know. Thank you. I don't remember clicking your name, but I'll make sure you're on there. Yeah, and then just if anybody needs help getting there or carpooling, because Discovery Pass is required at that location. So let me know.
Dope. Thanks. Yeah, Kindle's one is it has so much happening in like a briefer window. Yeah, or more to report on than right now. Yay, Kindle. Next weekend is though an important weekend, and it is Cascade Juggle Festival. Yeah. I'm pumped. This fest was so fun last year. I think it's going to be so fun this year. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Marketing has really picked up for that. I wrote out a check, and I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to put it in a spreadsheet somewhere.
I was
And
about to ask what the status of that was.
yeah,
Cool. So it hasn't been paid out yet.
correct. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
okay. Then
So-
we're
Yeah, no, we're yeah, we're in it. I am just writing. It'll be a physical check that is written out to Bellingham Circus Guild, because they're the ones who are processing all of the money side of the event. So that's gonna happen. Come to Bellingham, sleep at Richard's house. He has a yard. You can hang out with chickens. It's cute.
I kind of like that idea. Maybe next year.
It's cute. That's what I got. I think that's our programs. We're growing programs.
The Seattle Pride Parade.
Babe, I skipped the Seattle Pride Parade. You're correct. Which is indicative, which is reflective of the fact that I think I am gonna skip the Seattle Pride Parade this year, which I'm really sad about. Me personally, not CFAC. There's an event in Colorado that I think I'm gonna go to instead. That's the same weekend. So I have been sort of, I talked to Stephen, oh my God, I can't think of his last name right now. Katie Fishface's partner. And he said that he would be down to be the parade day person. So I think that's exciting. So basically the plan is that we will participate as normal, but we're going to, I will be doing all of the like back end, like the promotion, getting a list of people, probably figuring out some sort of like gift or swag. We've kind of made that a tradition that there's like a special something that people who march in the parade get as part of their participation. And I'll be doing that. And yeah, Stephen Poispinner. And oh God, okay. Anyways, it's like when you're being observed and can't think of a thing that you definitely know. But I think it's going to go great. I'm excited to have just like more people being involved in more ways, as always. And yay Pride, we're queer AF. I'm a little, it'll be curious to see. The Pride Parade has a pretty serious budget shortfall this year, like 350,000 out of like 1.5 million. Jacobs, thank you.
You're welcome. Didn't want you to go crazy for the rest of the day.
You're the best. So they have a pretty serious budget shortfall, and I don't really know what that's going to mean. Yeah, that's that. So hopefully it doesn't impact too much. And we'll find out more. Yeah, Blaze.
Have we decided the group size that we're registering and or if there's a vehicle?
No car. The car is such a pain in the butt. I
Yeah.
don't think we'll ever do a car. And less than 50.
Unless like someone can't walk or whatever and they want to go through all that rigmarole. Seems unlikely.
I think there's other
Okay.
ways.
So
But
it's like then it's like 40 or 50 people in one group or
up to
something?
50, yeah,
Yeah.
is the size group. And we've had like in the past it's been like 25 or 30 that actually show up. So
Okay.
yeah, so that's totally
Cool.
enough.
I'm focusing my efforts this year on the Trans Pride Festival in Walter Park, but may or may not be in the parade for other reasons too. So, but no, I'm glad we're going, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you're taking a break because I took a break last year and it was nice to like not walk.
I love the parade. I think it's so fun.
to
I'm genuinely
memories on
pretty,
that.
I'm quite sad to miss it actually, but especially because now it's like Park ADM moved to the end of this month. Come to Park ADM. We're gonna be there. But Park ADM moved and FlowFest moved, so now Pride is like no longer in a stressful location compared to our other events. So anyway, and Park ADM is not on this, but that's coming up the last. It's in May. It's May 31st is Park ADM. And so we'll be there again. That doesn't like, yeah, I'll just set up the booth and go. And I am in the process of, I'm hoping to have a new booth banner or have a booth banner by that date. So Ariana and I are working on figuring out if we can put any color on it or if it should just be plain white, because I really want color, but Ariana says that it might be best if it's just white, and unfortunately they're right, but I also want color. So we're trying to figure out if there's a solution.
Tapestry in the back.
That's true.
Here's what I said, Blaze. There are other ways
Yeah,
to
I'm planning to bend at FlowFest and stuff, so I'm like, this is my brain. It's like a 10 by 10 and whatever goes in it. It's like, so yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, that might end up being what we do. We're gonna, and we'll order those from McNamara Signs, which is where we got our A-frame sign. That's where David Horvitz works. And the budget or the estimate he gave for the sign was 200 for like a 10-foot by 2.5-foot vinyl printed sign.
Pretty good price for anything custom, honestly. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems reasonable to me. And we did, I think, put money in the budget this year for getting some stuff for the booth to make it just like look a little bit more professional and polished for when we're at our events. And I think that the clothing rack that we use for a hoop rack could theoretically be useful again. It's possible that it's useful again. It's not, Desert is laughing at me. I am like slightly
Say the
obsessed
S word.
thing, but but we do need some sort of way to like organize all of the props, like whether it's this clothing rack that more or less functions, or yeah, grid walls. Like yeah, we do need some sort of like something for the booth so that it's not just like 1,000 hula hoops all over the ground or whatever, or like leaning up against something. It just like doesn't work. So that will probably be kind of an iterative process of like trying things and seeing what works and what doesn't. So But I do agree that those little, do you mean like the metal ones that have like the connector and then you like shut, or do you mean just like the flat?
Randy's booth.
Yeah.
Like just looking at Randy, what Randy and Libby do, be like, we have the same props.
Livy uses clothing racks.
For some things. She has a combination, which is usually I like options.
Only one. Okay, no, I'm not. No, it would be very silly to put the juggling balls on that clothing rack. Anyway, that's happening. That's sort of a marketing update and also a Park ADM update. I will end my chaos moment.
Awesome. Well, yeah, a lot going on with programs. Thanks for all those updates. Desert, did you want to go back to the spreadsheet still, or we good?
Yeah, just real quick, let's touch back over here because there's two things I want to point out now that my brain is fully booted here. So this is the document we were looking at previously. To make this more readable, I'm going to do that, which just gives us the categories totals. And what Kat pointed out is this amount did not equal what was down here. There are reasons, but they're fixed now. So our approved budget shortfall that includes the, where is it? It's right here. It includes the increase in the storage fees, leaves us with $1,500 shortfall. Okay. That being said, though, we do have, as Kat pointed out, a current liquid asset in cash. We're holding about $46,000 right now. So we have the reserves for this year to make up for it, given our projected shortfall is like 20 after we do everything, maybe, with the increases that aren't currently in Q1. So like the venue, right? We're assuming we're going to get this amount in cash contributions this year, which is roughly on par with what we've said we've received before. So we're looking good. We have enough reserves to cover if we don't hit all of these numbers as projected. Arlene, I see questions in your brain. No? Just the face? Okay, cool. So yeah, I just want to touch back on that now that I fixed the formulation all the way across. Okay, thanks for catching that, Kat. That was it, unless anybody has questions.
Thanks, Desert. All right. Next is volunteer recruitment, which I touched on a little bit before. There's maybe not a big update, but we're gonna launch a volunteer recruitment campaign. We've been working on the back end for a while about prepping for this. I think it'll help once we have Delilah on board, to help us get the word out. And also now that we've got that position, I'm going to remove some of the social media tasks from and like other things from the volunteer like Google form. So there's a little bit of updating to do before that goes out. Arlene or Blaze, do you want to add anything?
Not really. It's gonna be easier to make asks once we have events again where people are on fire and stuff. I'm looking forward to asking people to help. But yeah, excited. I don't have anything.
Cool. Any member comments and announcements or community comments and announcements to share?
Richard and Rain, this is your moment.
So sorry, I missed that last comment. My son just went through.
I'm just heckling you.
Okay. It's okay.
It's the part of the meeting where non-board members or executive
Oh.
director can say things or like make announcements or ask questions or suggestions.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Richard is showing us his chicken's butts.
They look so happy, doing their chicken things. I've got a bunch of worms. They can come over here and dig through my yard a bit.
They would like it.
Uh-huh.
That's Goldie Hen. She's my favorite.
Nice.
No official business for me, except to say thanks, Emil, for continuing to make Juggle Fest happen. I think it's going to be lit. Promo is late, but promo was late last year, and we sold out despite also being the same time as the Fire Dancer of the Year. So I think a lot of Portland gang will roll. So yeah, if you're in the hood, then come see what's up. We'll see you next week.
Hey, Richard, do you have any insight to the number of people camping at the quarry that are attending?
Not.
No. Okay.
I think it's a non-zero number. People have been reaching out by DM to be like, "Hey, where do I live?"
Yeah, I've been passing
as
it out to
usual.
folk, too.
As usual for friends and fam, if anybody brings a tent, they can sleep in my house. There's increasingly limited space in my house, but if you need a space indoors, then hit me up also.
And when you say sell out, are you talking about the gala show or the daytime stuff?
The gala show, yeah. There's so much headroom in our gym space.
Yeah.
Okay. I have my gala ticket, but I haven't signed up for the day, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We are 1/3 sold out though, so if you haven't got a gala ticket yet, then get one. I lost my video there.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great. Also, I'm happy to report, as the person with the secret info about the candle lineup, it's like super litty this year. Everybody get really excited for talent announcements.
Right, those come out officially.
Should be this week. We were trying to hit May 1st, but some of the crews are late in getting back to us about who is on their crew. Thank you, Desert, for getting back to us with who is on your crew. Yeah, and then the show is getting put together a little late, so I'm hoping to have stuff out. We should have stuff out this week. I don't know if we'll have announcements. My sneak preview is that the hula hoop talent is dummy, the poi talent is dummy, but it will truly be the year of contact staff at Kindle this year.
Yes, I heard about it. I'm into it. I'm excited for it.
Yay.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Oh no, y'all don't even know. It's really something else right now.
All right, now I'm getting excited.
And also one thing I do feel confident in telling you all in confidence. Do not share this information with anybody outside of this meeting yet, please.
Wait,
but
you should not say this because it's going to be recorded and posted on YouTube.
Oh, tight. Okay, thank you for the reminder.
This is a
Okay,
public
I'll
meeting.
just talk to me if you want the goss.
Great.
Messaging
I'm
you now.
sick.
Heck yeah.
All right. On that note, I think we can adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else from anyone. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks for the invite, all. It's nice to see you.
Thank you. All right. So I think Desert and I are going to stay on for a second to talk about the spreadsheet. I have another idea about it. So don't end the meeting early.
Okay, I am going
Stop the
to
recording.
Stop the recording. Thanks.
And
everyone.
anybody who wants to stay is welcome to.